I can't envision a circumstance where that would be the faster choice.
Anyway, our racers are off, and let us go. Descendants of Airdrip, listen to my words. It is time to find a present for my daughter. Not exactly what he says. Anyway, let's see what is in these first few chests. So we find a key. Wow. We find some gold, hand axe money, and then, of course, the other key.
So the quote hand axe money. Oh, there's a return spell too.
Alright, so we've got keys, which is normally the first thing you need to look for. We see there's a town just down into the bottom. Game Boy chooses to look at that, whereas Rye Guy looks like is probably going to go buy some keys right away. And we also have the heal spell to start with, so very nice for, starting out.
Lots of options for this all-star cast. We've got 3 number 1 / former number 1 players in the rankings, as well as Rye Guy, who is a top 10 player. Might actually be 5th, somewhere around there right now.
So in the treasure, we've got fairy water, a dragon scale. Mr. Holmes seems to have the chest glitch already working, and is grinding some gold.
Yeah, with 2 keys, I'm not surprised that Holmes tried this, and it definitely looks like it's working out in his favor. This is a seed with a town nearby, which we know... Where is it? Cantlin.
It's Cantlin.
It's the best choice for this option.
And looks like Game Boy has taken a look at what's around there and then has decided to reset, possibly changing the strategy. In the basement of Tantagel Castle, we've got the Stones of Sunlight Cave, in which it has nothing, which I assume is keys at this point.
Angel FM also chose to do the chest glitch, but taking the gold chest first, once he sees Cantlin, he might just reset immediately and take advantage.
So I imagine we're going to have some very, very similar starts here in just slightly different orders from our players. We've got money on Mr. Holmes' side, who is taking a look at what there is, probably before he will choose to spend the gold on anything.
Game Boy, I was wondering if you would realize this. He just remembered he has to re-enter the throne room before setting up the chest glitch. Remembered just in time before opening another chest.
Alright, so with that, Game Boy is now into the treasury himself. So Mr. Holmes... I actually missed some purchases there. I see a small shield. Did you actually see what the others were?
No, it's hard to follow what everyone's doing. Angel is already fighting and takes the early lead in experience.
We get 16 power, 7 speed, 14 hit points, and 13 magic for 2 levels, but no spells.
This is all over the place. Angel's actually already at level 3.
So Rye Guy has purchased a hand axe and tries to buy a second hand axe, but unfortunately cannot. I think is aiming for the small shield, so yes. Small shield and hand axe for Rye Guy. I assume Mr. Holmes got something very similar to that.
So Game Boy is doing a gold grind, and I don't think Mr. Holmes took the full quantity of gold. It'll be interesting to see what Game Boy does, and if once he sees Cantlin, if he'll start over and take even more.
Well, Game Boy has already been in Cantlin and chose to reset a couple times, actually, to get this gold grind going.
Oh, that'll do it then. It's going to be a large amount of gold for Game Boy.
So, level 4 Mr. Holmes is at, and it comes with Heal More. So already we've got our, the big healing spell. We may or may not need it, but it's always convenient to have. So Game Boy is doing a gold grind. Probably going to get exactly to cover what wanted in Cantlin. I know we saw a full plate and a hand axe, otherwise let's see what we'll get.
Mr. Holmes' tracker also says Flame Sword and Silver Shield, so he's in great shape. Angel might be in a bit of trouble here. I don't know, he might choose to reset immediately, or will he want to hold on to the experience? We'll have to see.
Alright, so we're getting level 3 over on Rye Guy's side, I assume. That does look like a very big level, though it could possibly be 2 levels. Yeah, oh, that's level 3, good.
Game Boy's still taking gold, the only player not to have defeated an enemy yet, but that gold is going to serve him really well.
Yep, and we're saving and going to be headed back there. Meanwhile, Angel's still, looking around.
Now, if Game Boy wants the Flame Sword, he won't have enough money for the Silver Shield, but he can get Magic Armor and Large Shield in the meantime.
I don't actually remember seeing a Silver Shield. I could be wrong, though. I think it was a small shield.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And there's some chat going
SS,
on.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, that is definitely the small shield. Silver Shield is a little fancier. So Angel has actually chosen to reset. I assume we're going to be seeing a gold grind on his side as well.
Wait, you mean the Silver Shield isn't made of wood?
Ah, not as far as I know, unless someone sold you, like, the bootleg Silver Shield.
Ryguy finding a Droll Magi. While Mr. Holmes finds a Wraith Knight, and he's giving it a shot. He'll be able to defeat this guy already. Well, if he gets through the heals.
So Game Boy purchases the Flame Sword and a small shield, and I assume we are seeing a full plate in a second. Yes, we do.
Big, excellent move for Mr. Holmes, who reaches level 6.
So, trying to think about this, I think both Game Boy and Mr. Holmes don't have keys now, whereas Angel actually did reset, and then bought keys and is now going to be doing the grind.
Oh, that's interesting. You didn't have to give up all your keys to initiate the grind.
So we've got a Swamp Cave North over on Ryguy's side. And that's very important to know. Our princess is there.
That could be a huge lead for Ryguy. You never know how easy it's going to be to rescue the princess, even without Hurtmore.
However, we do have an Armored Knight sitting there with Dragon Lord Breath, so I feel like it might be a little while before we're going to be seeing that, and considering this is a seed without Hurtmore, you're probably going to be wanting the armor.
Where will the armor be? All the locations are easier, all the treasure chests are easier on average to get because of short Charlock, and no rainbow drop required.
Yeah, you can waltz right in there with these flags. But no Hurtmore means, well, you don't have an easy way out against any of the enemies, really. Though the fact that they do learn heal more early is quite good.
So Angel FM did indeed make the choice to restart and do the gold grind, now with a lot of extra money.
And that definitely can come into play. There are a lot of locations where information is locked behind the doors, so very good thinking on his part.
A lot of early game stuff going on everywhere. Players are just starting to grind with, presumably most players have or are going for a flame sword. I think Ryguy is the one with a hand axe, but he's already made progress.
Yes, that does sound correct to me. So Mr. Holmes here, up to level 7, has the lead in experience. But again, with Angel's play, getting for the proper gold grind with keys could help.
There's level 2 for Angel getting started already. Before even making it to Cantlin, defeating a magician.
Very good here. And so then Angel does get to Cantlin. In the top here, there actually is the full plate down there, but no one is buying it. They're all going to the other side. Oh, and I don't think we've actually seen this third shop here. I wonder if Angel's going to peek into there.
Meanwhile, Ryguy just reached level 5, continuing to silently make solid progress all around, exploration and experience.
So there's magic armor actually in the locked door shop, which I don't believe anyone else did make it to. So that's very good. Angel's not going to be able to get the flame sword right away, I don't think, but hand axe could be still useful. Oh, never mind, I was wrong. We do have enough money for the flame sword. Very good play on Angel's part.
Yeah, it looks like he had enough for a silver shield as well, but because there isn't one, he might backtrack and pick up a small shield. Oh no, he got one from that shop.
And mention in chat, there's a Sparkover bridge on Mr. Holmes' side. That was a while ago. I can't even see it anymore. A bridge leading to one tile.
I did see that in the southeast. There was so much else going on as well.
Gosh, I feel so special that the memes are still around for Sparko time.
Alright, Angel FM is off and running. There's level 3.
And that magic armor is definitely going to help a little bit too. I believe it's still the same defense as the full plate, but it's got the healing for you. And
as well, one other thing that a lot of people don't consider that can be very valuable, magic armor also reduces the damage from Hurtmore.
So Mr. Holmes finds Garanham, but chooses not to do very much in there, because unfortunately with the loss of the keys, Mr. Holmes is unable to go into the back there, and there are 3 treasure chests and a cave in there. So that is going to be an advantage for Angel until anyone else can find a spot where you can get keys, which will be the town of Rimmaldar is the guaranteed spot to get them. Otherwise, you have to get lucky and find one in a treasure chest. Though with, like, most of the chests open, that's, wouldn't that be something, finding a key in Charlock?
That would be something. Your first key. It looks like all 4 players are avidly exploring and finding a lot of good mid-range enemies all over the place. You see Warlocks and Spectres, although Warlocks have Dragon Lord Breath, unfortunately.
Yeah, so there's another enemy there who is, going to be really difficult until you're able to get the armor.
Mr. Holmes defeats a Wolf Lord for level 8. And it's a big one, lots of double-digit gains.
Wow.
And heal more Mr. Holmes has as well, although that came earlier.
Yeah, but I saw the hurt spell in there. Probably a couple other ones as well.
This is really quick development. This is definitely the kind of seed that after you've done your gold run, it's all going to come down to exploration, I think.
Yeah, so Game Boy finds the town of Garenham, and unfortunately as well isn't able to back there. Meanwhile, Angel goes to the back of Tantagel, just finding the Stones of Sunlight Cave.
Stones of Sunlight Cave has a magic key.
Oh, so that actually are, all of the keys. So they actually have to find the town of Rimmeldar.
Why, the Stones Cave was behind a door?
Yes, in the back of Tantagel.
Aha.
So very bad news for the other players, unfortunately. Question in chat from McGrew, no, we have not seen a cursed belt yet as far as I have seen. By the way, shoutouts to Demon Knight in the Dark up on Game Boy's side, best enemy.
Game Boy, the slime, fitting right in with that Demon Knight and running away.
So we found the Jerk Cave on, Ryguy's side. I'm actually kind of curious, when you have no need for the rainbow drop, what happens?
Mr. Holmes has discovered Remolder, so it's probably not too hard to get to. Probably not too big of a deal for anyone who didn't have keys, and Mr. Holmes going right over to stock up.
Alright, so that's very important on Mr. Holmes' side. He does know where Garenham is already, and he's not going to run out of keys again, most likely, is the thought by him. That's very significant on his side right now. He still has the experience lead, and he's gotten a very good amount of exploration done, so that's going to work very well for him.
Going back to check the Remolder chest, of course, and we'll see if it's significant. Of course, there are multiple cursed belts out there in treasure chests.
Could one be here? It's the herb. So Angel has just learned the bad news of the Armored Knight with Dragon Breath. That's going to be very difficult to deal with, I think, for a little while.
It's got good equipment, but just a few levels are required at the very least for some HP. Boy, at level 8, Mr. Holmes has 93 HP already. That's really good.
That's very buff. Let's see, so we've got level 8 on Mr. Holmes' side, level 7 for Game Boy and Ryguy, and then Angel in level... But I believe still just 2 of our 4 players do have keys in their possession, so that still can be very important.
Game Boy taking a look at a new cave. Oh, that's Swamp South.
I'm not sure actually if Game Boy has seen what the enemy is there. So we've got Hawksness over on Angel's side actually. We can find out what the enemy is on the spot perhaps. Depending on whether or not Angel actually does want to find out.
And of course, this could be really significant if, for example, Erdrick's armor or Erdrick's sword is there, both of which could help immensely against the Armored Knight in the Swamp Cave.
Looks like Angel's just pacing back and forth, maybe choosing to grind a little bit here.
So it turns out Knights also have Dragon Lord Breath. Ryguy surviving a breath from a Knight and running away with 1 HP.
Alright, so Mr. Holmes gets into the back door of Garenham. We've got 3 chests and a cave, so in that we get some gold. We get some gold. And we get Erdrick's sword. Very nice upgrade from the flame sword.
Definitely a significant discovery for the circumstances ahead.
Yeah, you're definitely going to want that to be dealing with the Knight.
Now, theoretically, people could heal more until the Armored Knight doesn't breathe. They could try beating it that way once they have a good amount of HP. Probably going to want maybe a little more than level 8. We'll see what the next one brings for Mr. Holmes.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Holmes is in the tablet cave now, by the way, due to all these shimmies going on and no enemies.
And we're on treasure chest watch once again. Will there be a cursed belt in here?
The dream. But it's the torch. Oh, and we've got Angel over here in Hawksness fighting a blue dragon.
And it looks like with Healmores, he's going to win this battle. It's gonna be close. Oh no, the dodge!
No,
and killed by a higher range attack.
Yeah. So he does know where it is, and it could be a very possible fight.
Ryguy and Angel have the exact same amount of experience.
Yeah, Angel's done a good job of catching up there.
Oh, not exactly the same. 2 digits were reversed, actually.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's very close. Everyone close behind Mr. Holmes and kind of clustered together. There's level 8 for Ryguy. Mr. Holmes entering the Stones Cave will replenish a magic key unless he already had full.
I could have had that for free. Alright, so back off into the world.
Exploration continues all around. Angel in Hawks trying to take a shot at that blue dragon once again, and this Wraith Knight will give him level 8 before the battle happens, so that could be very helpful.
Yeah, any more attack power is definitely going to help there. Unfortunately, MP is not going to be restored right away, so that wouldn't be any help. But let's see, I think this one was a big one. Yeah, 10 attack power and also 13 hit points. That's going to be very nice.
Huge all around. 9 agility, 22 MP, very significant.
Yeah. So meanwhile, Game Boy's found the town of Grimaldor is now going to be able to replenish his keys as well. And I'm pretty sure we did see him get to the Garenham, so hopefully if he goes back there soon, he'll be able to get a new sword.
Another Wraith Knight for Angel. At this rate, he might hit level 9 before getting the dragon, but I think he's going to go straight for it.
So we've got Mr. Holmes in the mountain cave. The first chest in that is the wings. We've got 4 more chests on the bottom. Next chest, we find the herb. My gosh, we are going through a lot of chests here. Please give me a cursed belt soon.
Mr. Holmes using a fairy water to make space in his inventory gets a fairy water.
Oh, I actually think they mentioned that there was repel in dungeons in the flag, so that does make a little bit extra sense.
Oh, yeah.
That is a thing that can happen. Very nice.
Alright, Angel defeats the blue dragon, gets a level, and the death necklace is there. Now, I don't think we can force the princess to take the death necklace and have that be a victory. I don't think it'll work.
That would be interesting, though. I mean, it is still technically a cursed item, but, you know, not according to the lore of, well, Cursed Princess.
Right.
Who even came up with that idea, anyway?
Well, it was Sparkover and some guy that she knows.
Oh, it must have been Ness Cardinality. So, fun story. A very long time ago, we wondered if this was even possible, so we did a very, very casual type race to see who the first person could be to bring the princess a cursed belt. Now, we just got lucky in the seed that we took.
Yeah, it was short.
Yeah, but I mean, it also just happened to have, you know, cursed belts that we could get.
Yeah.
But that was a fun time back in the day, and it's amazing to see, you know, that these are actually flags in the randomizer now.
In other words, this is all our fault.
We brought you these flags. Magru says he doesn't think she'll take the death necklace anyway. Yeah, I guess there's probably not a way to do that. At least not with these flags. So where are our cursed belts? We have got... I think we've just got the Graven Charlock left, actually, as far as, places with chests go.
Lorgon asking, what will the princess actually take? It is priority, but it's a list of items that happen to be in a price order from kind of cheapest to most expensive, but it's not based on price, it's just a list of items. And I believe one of the crazier items, I think it's the Staff of Rain, is actually on that list. thankfully there's no way to force her to take that in the vanilla game, so it's not a terrible run ending thing.
So we saw Angel going through the back of Garenham there, and also Game Boy actually. So they are both picking up their swords and going through the tablet cave to get, I think it was a torch down there. Over on Ryguy's side, we've got the club in a cave. Actually, just the gold glitch, and now Ryguy is doing a gold grind as well.
So Ryguy came out of this really well with just the hand axe and small shield. In totally good shape, has done a lot of good exploration, has some experience, and now is ready to buy whatever is available in Cantland.
Yeah, I know the silver shield wasn't available without the keys, but I wonder if that's something that Ryguy's going to go for anyway. Alright, so, oh, Mr. Spokes asks in chat, this is a cursed princess ending, so you can't win the traditional way by defeating the Dragon Lord, but the more fun way to win, TM, says Sparkover, is by gifting the princess a cursed belt. So Mr. Holmes here is filling up on the fairy water. All the best to thee. So now Ryguy is going to go do some shopping after doing the gold grind. Let's see where the money stopped. Oh, looks like Ryguy is opening the door, so I feel like the silver shield will happen pretty soon.
Checking all the shops. Everyone keeps taking the same amount of gold, as though they know that there's, like, no silver shield available. I'm kind of confused by that.
Oh, sorry, I think I said silver shield. It was magic armor that I was thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
So everyone has got money for flame sword and magic armor. But nobody, I haven't seen a single person go above 18,000 and try to look for a silver shield. It's kind of surprising.
So question in chat, at this point are the belts all in Sherlock? We have not seen the grave yet either, so... But I think those are the two remaining spots with chests, because, yeah, the individual chests we have all found already.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so Ryguy is actually going to look for the coordinates, talking to the man in the back of Cantland. So 44 north and 42 east for the mystical search item. Of course, you can't actually pick up the princess to get that, because, well, you'll either win, or you'll never be able to curse her. Which I suppose could be an option if you really felt that was a good play. Say Sherlock were long and all the cursed belts were in the bottom of that. Or even if you were on the bottom of the grave, you might not want to put up with that. So Ryguy has now found Hawksness. I want to imagine... Let's see... I'm trying to remember if it was level 8 or level 9 that was the magical one, but this Wraith Knight here is definitely going to, you know, take care of my questions here.
Man, all players are within 400 experience of each other, have progressed a lot, and you've got to figure after 23 minutes, not having found a cursed belt, you've got to figure everyone's getting really nervous around now.
Alright, so we have the grave over on Mr. Holmes' side, and in that we find a cursed belt. And let's get outside, go back in, the grind is happening. So I'm very fortunate for him that it's on the very top floor of the grave here, because if it were a little lower, you really wouldn't want to worry about it.
Setting up inventory already. This is a big step for Mr. Holmes. Gonna discard that dragon scale, which is another item that the princess would take.
Would she take the fairy water?
I don't think so.
Oh, interesting. Because if that's the case, then you could just be full of that, which I assume is probably why he filled up on that then. around to find all the cursed belts. Now my question is, if you're coming in, if you're going straight to the chest, teleporting out, and then walking straight back in, who is refilling those?
You probably don't want to know the answer.
But I kind of do. Anyway, we've got the armor in coal here that Mr. Holmes just found as well, very close to the grave. So that's really going to help against that armored knight with the Dragon Lord breath. So how is our HP doing is what I wonder. I know it was 93 not too long ago. So will it show me it attacks before I'm ready? 97. All right. So yeah, that's a very good amount of HP for fighting something with Dragon Lord breath.
Looks like Mr. Holmes has to get another cursed belt here. He was just leaving to heal up. Maybe she can take the fairy water. I'm just not 100% sure. Jerry Gamer says she can.
All right. Yeah, I'm a little unfamiliar with all the logistics. I feel like I know that I would, just get all the cursed belts you can, because why wouldn't you?
But yeah, it looks like Mr. Holmes is on his way to victory here. I believe, yeah, he knows where the swamp cave is. He's already filled with cursed belts. And even if he doesn't, but he does have Erdrick's armor on, so he's basically ready.
Yeah, he's in incredibly good shape. Meanwhile, we had Game Boy and Angel, who were both doing their own exploration and have returned to the start and are going off in different places. And on Ryguy's side, actually has hit level 10. So Ryguy and Angel are actually both now in the experience lead, but Mr. Holmes pretty much has all the equipment he needs right with him.
His inventory's full except for, full of cursed belts except for a fairy flute, which the princess will not take.
Probably double checking just to make sure that is the case.
Now headed towards the swamp cave. He's got enough HP to withstand 2 consecutive Dragon Lord breaths.
Yeah, and that's pretty much necessary for this fight. We have seen the Armored Knight breathe a lot of fire, mentioning that. Just does it twice on the Overworld to Game Boy, sending him back home. So I'm not sure what sort of stats we're looking at here for the percentage, but I want to say at least 50, if not 75.
Mr. Holmes now probably 1 attack away, possibly 2, depending. He's gonna play it safe here and heal more, but didn't get fire breath. He's gonna attack once more, and is that enough? It is!
That is enough, alright, so all we have to do is rescue the princess and take her home, and, with the appropriate spells, we can do that even faster than just walking.
And Mr. Holmes still has enough magic for outside and return. He's all set. This is it. This is victory for Mr. Holmes. As Yoshi picks up the princess triumphantly.
So I kind of want to hope that she is riding Yoshi, and I hope that we can get a few good shots of that while Mr. Holmes is walking.
Yeah, I think walking north it'll look pretty good. Yeah, you can sort of see there she's on his back.
Yeah, which is appropriate. Look at that. That is adorable. I feel like I've seen it before, but only still I haven't seen it in the in motion.
Ooh, the fairy water lost its effect. I'm not sure if Mr. Holmes will make it now.
Oh no. Anyway, the king takes back the princess, and she will go stand in her seat, or sit in her seat, rather.
Please give me that cursed belt.
What a lovely corset. Anyway, get your GGs out in chat for Mr. Holmes, who finishes in first place with a time of 29 minutes and 10 seconds.
Beautiful. At level 9, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
In a seed where an enemy with Dragon Lord breath had to be...
Yes. Yeah, finding the armor and having just enough HP was definitely a very key factor into this, but it was very good. Very nice and straightforward, and of course we win with the princess getting a beautiful present. I'm not sure actually if anyone else has seen the grave yet. So they've got a little more exploration to do. Mr. Holmes was definitely able to do that right away, and that gave him a huge benefit, I think, against the others.
Exploration is key. So important.
You know what else was key?
Keys.
Yeah, those keys. Keys are keys? Anyway, we're just thinking about getting Mr. Holmes in here for an interview. Meanwhile, we've got some others who are scouring the land here, really wanting to, you know, find out where exactly they can find this mystical cursed belt. Van Breckenry over on Angel's side chooses to, you know, just do a really little pirouette, and hey, there's Sherlock Castle. Now, I'm curious, though, if one of the belts could be in there, actually. There were 2 unknown chests on the grave.
I think there'd be a good chance of it.
Hey, I mean, there's a lot of chests. Short Sherlock? Why not look? Look how short that Sherlock is.
An Angel can handle all the late-game enemies now.
Ah, yes. Running from them might be difficult, but with the HP that you've got and the pretty decent armor, it's gonna help. And look at that, the red dragons with Stop Spell. Angel is choosing to fight it. So Raigai stumbles upon the Rimmildar here, and is going to be getting the chest in the corner there, and I believe we have somebody here who I assume is Mr. Holmes.
Good assumption.
When I assume, that makes me assume things. So Angel here goes down to the Sherlock Treasury, and we found, there's our last magic key. I thought there was one more chest with one. So we've got the Fighter's Ring, and there's our other cursed belt. Angel, of course, is going to be opening the other chests, just to make sure that it's not one of those ones as well.
Yeah, also, there could be another cursed belt in one of those chests. Might as well check.
You never know, unless you've seen, you know, the other cursed belt.
Gold in the upstairs chest.
Oh, that's much better. Apparently I had muted myself.
Oh gosh.
I was very confused.
Congratulations.
Well, it turns out that finding that redundant Erdrick's armor was actually kind of a big deal.
It was very useful. I wasn't sure if you had seen the Armored Knight at that point, actually, but yeah, very important.
I mean, that seed was several levels of panic for me. The first one being, well, I'm just gonna grind gold and see if I can find something. It's like, oh great, I got a flame sword. Oh crap, my power is really high. I need to get another key ASAP.
Yeah.
And just like utter panic, like, oh, there's Garenham, can't look at that. And then thank God I found Rimmildar in that little narrow stretch. And then from that point, it was just like, oh crap, I need to find a cursed belt. I'm so overpowered.
Yeah, actually, out of the 4 of you, Angel was the only one who actually did come out of the gold grind with keys. So, but you found the keys first, you know, otherwise, and you had a huge exploration experience lead at that point. So it definitely worked to your advantage.
Fairy Water OP made a huge...
The other thing that made a huge difference for you was Garen's grave, that top floor cursed belt. Everyone else is in Sherlock right now. One of the chests there has a cursed belt, but it's going to take some time for them to go in and out. They're getting red dragons on the way that they have to fight and things like that.
Yeah, unfortunately, Game Boy was actually sent home by one, so he's going to have to go back there. So Angel is definitely in the cursed belt lead right now, but we've also got Raigai on there as well.
I never did end up finding Sherlock. Where was it?
Well, if we watch Game Boy, we can tell you accurately. I'm going to be honest, it's very hard with locations in regard to 4 Racer, but the other 3 have found it.
I'm guessing it had to be either north or northeast, because that's pretty much... I'd covered everything except for that.
Yeah, Game Boy is definitely headed mostly north with a little bit of east, so looks like that is where it will be.
Right. Well, cool. I mean, I've definitely had a wide variety of these seeds that I've been practicing. It's really, really interesting, the fact that you can't learn Hurt More. I mean, like, oh, if you had Hurt More at level 3, all of a sudden that Armored Knight isn't. You just need to fade a Dragon Lord Breath or something, right?
Yeah, that definitely makes the difference for that.
I was just worried that he might have Heal More. Who knows? He might have Heal More. Maybe I faded that as well. So whenever you see one ability, you're like, oh, what else?
Yeah, we have only seen the one ability from the Armored Knight as far as I'm aware. But, yeah, definitely could be a possibility. I just want to note, those colors on the Dragon Lord on Game Boy's side, like the blue and black Dragon Lord, very sharp. So looks like Angel is just a couple, maybe 1 or 2 cursed belts away from being complete.
Thankfully, there's a magic key in those 6 chests as well, so no problem going back and forth. It's just the enemies.
Yeah. And yeah, as mentioned in chat, which I was just about to talk to as well, they're very lucky that there is a key in this treasury, because then they don't need to worry about going off to find keys elsewhere to keep opening the doors.
Right, I guess that is a big deal. I mean, I was also pleased to see that the fairy flute was also in the grave, so that takes up another one of those 8 slots you're looking for.
Yeah, one less thing to, you know, worry about taking out of your inventory for a different item.
And it's kind of funny, when I was searching the spot in coal, I wasn't even thinking about the armor. I was thinking, oh man, maybe I can get a death necklace to take up another spot. But turns out it was the armor. I'm like, oh, okay, sure, I guess.
Yeah, sure. I guess. It is definitely very helpful, though. None of the other racers have Erdrick's armor at the moment. And I'm curious how that's going to work out, because HP is very high, so you could chance it against the Armored Knight, even with the fire.
Oh wow, Stonemen also have Dragon Lord Breath.
I feel like there's been a fair amount of enemies with the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, if no one else has gone to find coal, that Armored Knight could... Well, I guess if they fought lots of red dragons, maybe they're okay, but... The Armored Knight could cause some problems. Cause some problems! Wow, words.
I couldn't tell for sure, but it looked like 50% Dragon Lord Breath, so they might just heal more of their way through it.
Yeah, I mean, Angel is headed right there, actually, with 110 HP, you know... As long as the Armored Knight doesn't get to you with the Dragon Lord Breath too many times, then you can definitely, you know, have a chance of making it.
Oh wow, Game Boy still has to drop 3 more items in this Curse Belt grind.
That reminds me, the other thing that was nice is that I could just, throw down a fairy water every time I went in the cave, and I didn't have to go through all of that text.
Yeah.
Yeah, Angel is already doing the heal more grind against the Armored Knight. And it does look like it's working. I do think that it's 50% Dragon Lord Breath. He's got 2 heal mores left now. And there's an attack, so I think he's... Oh, there's an excellent move.
Excellent move. That should seal that deal.
GG no re.
And enough magic to get out of there without having to fight another.
Right. That would have been...
Blessing.
So Angel, it looks like, will finish in second in this epic Cursed Princess percent race.
Yeah, I mean, I think for this week, Sparkover should have commented every race, but I'm not sure if she would agree with that assessment.
Perhaps if this one was scheduled for a different race where I didn't have so many other things, but I am very happy that Ness Cardinality and I were able to do at least one of them.
True story.
So we've got Angel here just approaching the king with the princess in hand.
The funny thing about all of this is, you know, let's say we go return the princess and, oh man, we screwed up. We left the inventory spot, or I forgot about the fighter's ring or something. You know, we weren't too far away from fighting the Dragon Lord.
Yeah, it's true. That could have been a thing anyway, as well. Anyway, so Angel FM has officially finished in second place with a time of 38 minutes and 42 seconds. Meanwhile, I was trying to look at the inventory of the other two, but I actually just missed them a few times. But Ryguy is headed home, so I think we're probably ready for that. Meanwhile, Game Boy is headed back up north, but in a different direction, not the Sherlock direction. Unless... No, never mind, I was wrong. So Ryguy here is refilling the MP. Yeah, unfortunately I missed the circumstances of Game Boy. Okay, confirming in chat here that he died. So Game Boy's actually going to be going back for a belt. So yeah, unfortunately on his part, he was the second over to, or yeah, the second into the Sherlock grind at least. But
Actually, on his
Ryguy
part,
was
he
able
was
to
the
catch
second
up
over to
just by,
or,
well,
yeah,
yeah, the second into the Sherlock grind at least. But
GG, Angel.
Ryguy was
Hello,
able to catch up
GG.
just by,
Oh, thank
well,
you very much.
GG, Angel.
hello.
So what do you think of that one? That was a bit of a interesting one.
Very, at the same time too, I was really frustrated when
Interesting one.
I see that Caitlin's right below, and so 5 minutes wasted having to go back and gold grind to at least Flame Sword and Magic.
Yeah, you were actually the only one to get out of the gold grind situation with keys in the end.
Yeah,
so very good job on remembering that one for you.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a little positive.
Very good job on
Plus,
remembering that
also,
one for you.
like the frustration also kicked in too when I think I explored just about everything trying to find Sherlock because usually there's a curse belt in it, and I could not find anything.
Yeah, it was there was one in Sherlock and then one in the top of the grave, which Mr. Holmes found. There was one in Sherlock and then one
Where exactly
in
was
the top
Grave
of
at?
the grave, which Mr. Holmes found.
Like a bit clockwise from where the two caves were northeast of start. It was like probably directly east of start, but you had to go like clockwise around to get it. Probably directly east of start,
Okay, I
but
see.
you had to go like clockwise around. Yeah, and there happened to be a curse belt as well as a fairy flute on the top floor, so you got one free item. A curse belt as well as and then what didn't seem important at the time was the fact that Cole was there with the armor. Because I almost trapped a brick when the dragon or the armored knight breathed fire on me. That was scary. Trapped a brick.
Yeah, that was the one thing I actually had was I went really early to swamp when I found it, and just to see what the spike tile was.
Yeah, the way things had gone for me is I was just panicking because I had no keys and I had Erdrick's sword. Or no, I got Erdrick's sword after, but I had no keys. I had a flame sword, and I'm just like, I'm strong enough to beat any spike tile enemy. I went through the swamp cave just to explore the second continent. But I was like, I'm not even concerned about that mini boss because we were like almost Dragon Lord ready. That's how strong we were. It was ridiculous.
Well, I mean, I went into Hawksness like really early, and I felt like I caught up a bit because there's Wolf Lords, there are Droll Magi, there were Wraith Knights that I could just take down, and the spike was a Blue Dragon. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can get armor out of this and be a lot safer.
Yeah, Wraith Knights were definitely a favorite of the early game. I actually found some just south of start before the swamp. I'm not even sure what zone it was in because then I started getting Drakis and Magidrakis, and I was very, very confused, as is often the case.
So, very unfortunately on Game Boy's side, he managed to defeat an armored knight, and from the looks of it, I think he had encountered another one in the cave actually, unless he just made a mistake walking around. But yeah, both Game Boy and Ryguy are having trouble getting through this one. Oh, he actually did that intentionally. Okay. Yeah, because as mentioned in chat, Game Boy had actually healed, making not enough MP to cast Outside after the fight, and getting around that Armored Knight would be very difficult a second time. But these back attacks with the Dragon Lord Breath, they're very cruel.
I mean, yeah, it'd be hard to get across the Armor Knight, but I mean, you can always get to the spike tile and just run to get to the other side. You know, take a chance on that.
Yeah, I don't know what would be the better odds at that point. Because you probably kill it in 3 hits, right?
But
yeah,
remember,
but if you don't have the...
nobody else has Erdrick's armor, so they're taking a lot more from the Dragon Lord Breath.
This thing, you'd have to fade 2 fire breaths at 50%. That's like a quarter. I don't know how the agility is, but it seemed like it was pretty garbage. I mean, or you could just be like Angel and excellent move it. That seems legit.
I think that was the only luck I had the entire seat.
Anyway, we have no actual confirmation on how Knight is doing Dragon Lord. I want to assume it's 75%, but I don't know. Others are saying 50. Who knows? I just feel like it's quite a lot.
Oh, it looks like Ryguy beat the Armored Knight. And does have enough magic for outside. We'll just have to do a little bit of a walk after that.
Just have to save that 6 MP for the outside spell.
75% Dragonlord breath. There you go.
Why, thank you. There I go. It definitely did feel like that, though, to me. Alright, so Ryguy embraces Princess Gwaelin, and all needs to do is take her home.
So, what's the flag set for next week? I forget.
Next week is Three's Company with Open Sharlock.
Right. Oh, man. So you just have to get the princess to the Dragon Lord. Oh, man, that seems... So you said it's open Sharlock, but is it full Sharlock? Or is it short?
No, it's completely full.
Oh, okay, that makes it really interesting. It's like, agility MP build for the win. That's what I was using this time.
Alright, Ryguy has successfully returned to Cursed Belt and finishes in 3rd.
Ryguy finishes in 3rd place with 46 minutes and 22 seconds.
Hooray!
Meanwhile, Game Boy has managed to get over to Princess Gwaelin as well, and very soon we will be seeing the 4th core set delivered. Great job, everybody, in not coming into the temptation of trying to fight the Dragon Lord. This is the proper way to end this game, I am convinced.
Game Boy with tons of MP left over, heading home quickly.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I wonder how close it would have been had he been able to get through the first time.
Yeah, Game Boy definitely had a little bit of unluck, both with getting the belts and then also getting to the Axe Knight, or the Armored Knight, rather, or through it. Anyway, Game Boy finishes with an official SRL time of 7 minutes and 14 seconds. GG to all of the racers. That was a lot of fun to watch. Interesting to see the slightly different paths, and as always, very fun to watch this beautiful flag set that we came up with a few years ago, and now many people are racing it.
It's special.
It's very special.
So who was the first person to come up with that idea? Was it one of you guys, or did someone...
Yeah, it was the two of us. A couple of years back, we just had this idea that it could be possible to give the princess a cursed belt, and we did a very unofficial race of it. It was a lot of fun.
Right. I definitely remember that race. I remember it actually didn't take that long. There was a cursed belt available like right away or something.
Yeah.
But I always thought that would have been like an MTI idea or something. Like, oh, of course it's for Sparkover memes.
Well, I mean, he is the one that came up with the corset for... So, I mean, he definitely had some influence in the final line of...
Oh, Sparkover, your meme percentage is definitely elite.
I've done a little bit. So I believe we will be seeing Ryguy here soon. Game Boy is declining an interview. Very soon we'll see Ryguy here. Any other thoughts from Mr. Holmes or Angel while we're waiting?
No, but I just apparently saw that the Armored Knight apparently has sleep as well.
The Knight does.
Oh, the Axe Knight. Okay, I saw AK in the SRL chat, and I was like, oh. Oh man, that's brutal. You think you beat the mini boss? It's just like, all right, we're done. And then no, it's never over.
Nothing's ever over.
Exactly.
We've got Ryguy joining us here. Hello?
Do we actually have Ryguy here?
His thing is lighting up, but no sound.
Oh no, Ryguy, if you were saying anything, we cannot hear you.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, hooray!
Hooray!
Hooray.
I'm not hurrying.
Hooray.
I was just saying, I think I need to have a chat with this game about a few things.
Yeah, it was a little bit cruel in some spots, and you definitely got a few bad punches, or, well, getting toasted.
I mean, I feel like that's really unfair getting slept and wrecked between the Armored Knight and the Princess, but at least it didn't cost me in the end.
Yeah, we were talking with it. That's just disgusting, and I feel really bad.
I'd like to talk to that Armored Knight about his definition of 75%, though. I assume he had 75%, but he thought it was
Yes.
100.
Yeah, the 75% was confirmed.
Not by me. I confirmed 95%, I think.
Averages.
75% of the time it works every time? Something like that?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious, Mr. Holmes. Like, where'd you get your cursed belt? Because I don't think I saw a cursed belt until like after you were done, even.
So, so there were 2 caves northeast of Start. Like, I think one was the Jerk Cave and one was something else. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah, I saw the Jerk Cave, and I got stuck in Mountain Cave, like grinding and dying a whole bunch, looking for a cursed belt and coming up empty.
Right, so if you kept going like clockwise along that coastline, it was probably directly east of Start, but you had to go northeast and then a bit south. There was Garen's Grave, and it had a cursed belt and a fairy flute on the top floor. And as well, there was coal with Erdrick's armor, which helped against the Armored Knight considerably.
Oh yeah, I found none of that.
I don't think anybody else did. Like, everybody must have explored the same way, which makes me feel lucky, I guess?
Yeah,
mean,
Mr. Holmes was the only one with the armor.
I mean, I pretty much hit like every possible dead end until I found Charlock up north.
Okay, Angel, so you did that Charlotte grind too. That seemed really slow, but like I had no idea where the grave was and no idea where to find a belt, so it's like, I guess I better do this.
I mean, if I had to describe this seed with like one sentence, it would be running around on fire. Because I felt that way the whole time. Alrighty. Thanks,
Well,
everybody.
Thank you all very much for the entertainment. And for running this
GG to
beautiful
all, and
flag
I'll
set.
talk to you later.
GG, Mr. Holmes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for the race. Thanks for commentating and tracking and restreaming that. I'm sure that'll be a interesting one to see.
Yeah, it was a very good race, so please be sure to stick around. It sounds like right away we will be coming up with another race right on this channel with Tilo versus Vela versus Jay Coper. So we will be switching the restreams, but surely we will be back soon with some more Dragon Warrior Randomizer action. So stay here, everybody, and please have a lovely night. Ness Cardinality and I will be signing off, but stick around for some other lovely cursed princess action.
Enjoy.